The idea came to me for this project while I was proctoring an exam in my room. And I was looking around, and I was looking at all the kids in my room in my pre-cal class that were just brilliant in math and science, who at that point, from just knowing them, having them in class for the past few years, I know that they do not have an interest in a STEM-related career other than something that might be medical. In McGoffin County, it's no secret, unemployment rate is awful. We have one of the highest unemployment rates in the state. There's not a lot of jobs, especially STEM jobs, or they don't see the STEM jobs. They can go down the Mountain Parkway and they see all the doctor's offices. So our kids who are very talented in math and science, they will go. They will major in biology, chemistry, and they'll go into pharmacy or obviously the medical profession. But we have very few who are leaving our school who are going into engineering or computer science or any of those careers. So while I was watching them, I got the idea, hey, I'm going to write a grant. And I'm wondering, am I as a teacher doing what I need to do to educate my students on the different career fields that they could go into with the knowledge that they have in math and science? Because our kids have it. They're doing well. ACT scores are going up. Each year I challenge my kids to just get higher and higher, and they are. They're reaching those the goals that they're setting for themselves, but they're not considering the STEM careers that I think that they would be very good at. So because of that, I wrote the grant to develop a plan to educate my students through just exposing them to the fun of the science, technology, and engineering that could happen, that they can use their math skills with. So some of the things I'm going to use is there's stemcareer.com. There's a website with all kinds of resources. We've already taken some surveys to establish a baseline of what careers they are interested in. And I'm going to judge the effectiveness of what I do with my students by doing a post-survey after we go through our activities. Some of our activities will be having guest speakers come in. I've already got lined up the Department of Transportation. They're coming to do a demo with my students. I've also integrating some problem-based learning activities that incorporate other areas of STEM within the mathematics of my classroom. Next week, we're actually attending MPAID at MSU, which we do that annually already, but I've really tried to encourage some students who I know are gifted in the field of math and science to go with me and to really follow up on that and get them on campus. There's a student I have in mind who I know with his family, who he does not come from a family who went to college. And when I look at him, I think if I don't expose him to this, I don't know that anyone else will. So that one kid really was my inspiration for this grant. But anyway, I'm also trying to tap into people that I know just to come in, talk. We're going to also try to visit UPike and look at the hauler and see what they're doing and how they created that. I'd also like to tap in. I have some who really don't really get into math, but they get into gaming and look at the new program that they have over at UPike. So there's so many things I don't think our kids ever considered that they enjoy, that they could really do for a career that we'd like to get into. Also, listen to Doc. Known Doc for the past 2 years. We've been in the Appalachian Leadership Laboratory together. I'm going to talk to him later maybe about Skyping with him and letting some of his students do a demo for my students, because he does a lot of hands-on things that with his electives that he has that we don't offer at our small school. So it's an exciting time for our kids. They're pretty excited about it. Also, I'm investigating something, and we just heard about it in the last session, the Breakout EDU, where we know about the escape rooms and all those kind of things. I think it would be neat to incorporate my students designing a breakout lesson for an Algebra 1 class. So we're going to look at maybe if I can ask for permission to change some of the guidelines that I wrote in my grant, because I think that's a better idea than what I'd originally put in my plan, because I had a little roller coaster activity that I was going to spend some money on. But the idea of our students taking the mathematics that they know and designing their whole problem-solving activities for they to go around and define the codes and do all the numbers, I think would be pretty neat. So that's my plan. We'll see how it works. We'll be back in the spring, hopefully with some students. I'm hoping that the rate of interest in the STEM careers that they've never considered other than medical has went up. We will see. Who knows? And I'm hoping that one kid I have in mind next year can, maybe pursue a degree in a STEM career. That's it. Any questions? Yes. Okay. Okay. That sounds awesome. Okay. Could you write that on the back of that for me, please? Hmm. Well, our kids are good in math and science, and they think, well, I have to be a doctor. But in McGoffin County, that's a job you can get. You can work at a doctor's office because we have them. And they don't think about the transportation cabinet and all the other things. And obviously, everybody knows about the Mountain Parkway expansion. Now's the time to get our kids really interested in civil engineering. I have the upper level sophomore math students, so other than taking them on the bus and in these field trips where I'm limited with my money, I'm going to try to expose them to the other things I'm doing with my pre-cal. So I'm going to do what I can that does not cost money with my sophomores also. As far as freshmen, we'll see how this goes. I'm going to encourage the other teachers in my building maybe to write a similar grant next year, or just look for grants outside of ARI to incorporate, because it takes money to do some of the hands-on things that gets them excited, and it takes time for you to say, oh, I'm willing to sacrifice this amount of time for this, from my pacing guide that I know I need to get through. So and that's why I chose pre-cal. We don't have an end of course assessment there, and I thought I will start here, see how it goes, and before I spend a ton of time in my algebra 2 where we have that ELC. And unfortunately, that's the real world with assessment. Yes, unfortunately. Right, right, right. You just hope the payoff is big enough if we do sacrifice time for it. Exactly. Yes, at McGoffin. I would love that. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I would love that. Thank you. Okay, that's great. And see, that's something I never even thought about. So, exactly. Right. Okay. Any more questions? All right, thank you.